Come to Remora TC to trade like a shark and not get eaten by one. Let's school together to protect and grow our money. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, August 5th. Let's review the price action for this week. I didn't do a video on Sunday, so tonight's video will be a little bit different. I'm going to remove a couple tickers and add some new ones that we haven't reviewed yet. So let's just start things off with the triple Qs. Triple Qs here. Price action, as you can see, is to the downside. You can see this big gap down on, this is Friday, the 1st of August. Big gap down, price move down to, what is this right here? Around 553. And that's because there was this overhead resistance that I talked about up here. So the annotations are there, that there's overhead resistance, and price indeed did break down underneath that. What we're seeing is this resumption of the price moving upward to fill the gap. So really, this is just a gap fill move. It is not a go long on triple Qs. Okay, triple Qs came up, filled the gap. Today sold down. The overall direction remains unchanged. It is to the downside. So I'm just going to slide this over, just like that. The price action will coincide with the momentum. Okay, so it is further low prices for triple Qs. Don't go long right now. If anything, this is an opportunity to go short on triple Qs. Next is GDX. GDX price action is different from the momentum. Down here, momentum is to the downside, waning momentum. But up here, the price action continues to go up. I'm going to extend this line out a bit. This like there. So perhaps there's overhead resistance in this zone here. And that would be an opportunity to take a short. Right now, I'm not in this trade, but if I were to get into it, it would be a short up here due to all this momentum change. This is just price action moving up. Because it's gone through this spot right here with what appears to be some modest momentum, I'm going to remove that. It's no longer in play. And make the annotation like this. Okay, so if you're going to go long on GDX, it's really losing momentum. This gold play doesn't have the strength to continue its upward move. I wouldn't go long on it now. If anything, it would be a short. Okay, let's just kind of clean this up a little bit. Delete this one. All right, so to the downside. Next up, MicroStrategy behaving as I predicted. Now, there might be a little bit an opportunity for it to move up just a little bit more. Okay, I talked about this red line here as resistance. You can see how I annotated it here. Okay, and that prices would go down. It indeed went down on this day, which is last Friday. And then you can see that it's just flagging. If anything, there is a tiny gap fill here. I'm not going to promote it too heavily, but it is there. It's possible price still has the opportunity to move up to that gap fill, but really overall lower prices for MicroStrategy. I'm just going to clean this chart up just a smidge like this. Okay. Lower prices for MicroStrategy in general. Okay. All this momentum change down here. All the shark signals up there. It is for the low prices for MicroStrategy. The 200 days here, it's coming. But really, I think the consensus move is lower. So perhaps the first area of support, I'm going to take a look here. Maybe the first zone of support is down here in the 300 range. Okay. MicroStrategy for you. Microsoft, you can see Microsoft's price action here. Last Thursday was earnings. Earnings was at the close on Wednesday. Thursday was the open was really high. It opened up here in 556 and sold down throughout the day. And then the next day continued the selling. What's happening here is retail investors are attempting to keep it up there. But really, the sharks have already decided to go out to sell. So I'm not going to endorse this as a long, even though the price action kind of goes against what I've been talking about from a momentum standpoint. So the key is to hold this line. If the sharks can hold this line right here, I'll make it a little bit thicker. Let's make it a double. Then we might see further high prices up here, okay? But what you can see when I highlighted this thick line is that I also have a alert set here. So when price breaks underneath it, that's the resumption of selling. So right now I'm not endorsing this as a long whatsoever. If you have positions long for Microsoft, then take your profits, okay? Take your profits. Be happy that you've been getting favorable price action, okay? So still further low prices for Microsoft. Switching to Tesla. Tesla has been behaving as I suggested. I said this would be overhead resistance, and indeed from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's still lower price action. You could see that the gap, this gap fill actually is no longer in play. We'll take it out. If anything, it's flagging a little bit. In general, lower prices for Tesla. I think the first zone of support is down here along the purple, and it may even come down and fill the gap even further, okay? So that is Tesla. I'm gonna move this down here. Palantir has been ripping. It hasn't been behaving as I predicted, and in fact, it's reached another newer highs. So let's pull this over here like that. Okay, newer highs. Still, it's burned through my RSI annotations down here, but it's flagging like crazy. Look at this big wedge. Okay, it's a big pizza wedge. If anything, some people would call this price action up here, the zone up here, right? They would call that, what is it called? An island top. It's a bear signal. They gap it up, pull in more longs, only to gap it back down. In fact, gap it back down beneath. It'll gap below this. Okay. So right now, again, I'm not endorsing this as a long. I don't suggest it to be, because the downside is the likely move. If anything, I would suggest taking a short underneath this. Oops. Take a short if it gets underneath this. And I'm going to clone that underneath this one. Okay. Actually, let's clean this up just a little bit. Okay, so underneath there, like that. Okay, two areas of short opportunities. It's Palantir. This is a big gap. It's going to fill it. And it's going to take a lot of people out. Okay. On to Northrop Grumman. Northrop Grumman also has that rising wedge action here. Let's make the annotation. It's kind of like that. Okay, this type of price action will lead to a bearish move that will follow. Okay, so there's your pizza wedge. Yeah, it's just a flagging action. Now the RSI doesn't agree though. Okay, excuse me, the RSI doesn't show bearishness. It's going with price action. You can see both of them are concurrent with one another. But I still feel the way the price action is moving, it is showing a downside move is coming. So look for that. Okay, if you're in it long, then take your profits. Definitely take your profits. And a breakdown underneath here would be an opportunity for short breakdown underneath there. Switching to General Motors. General Motors has been adhering to the overhead resistance that I talked about right here. Okay. This is overhead resistance. You can see how on this day, which was last Thursday, it wasn't able to stay above it. Okay, so the price action wicked up all throughout the day, and by the end of the day, it had come down below it. And then the subsequent days have attempted to break through it. I'm just going to slide this over. It's still overhead resistance. The general move, from my perspective, is to the downside. So you can see the sharks are telling one another to get out, right? Due to the signal that came over here with the shark here. In fact, I can slide this over. It's like that. Okay. All right. Downside move, really. So take your profits if you're in it. Otherwise, get out. Now let's look at a couple tickers that are new to the plate. Let's look at GIS. GIS is General Mills. It's a cereal company. You know, a lot of the stuff that we eat in the morning is made by General Mills. What I do want to highlight is this is an opportunity for an upcoming long. So switching to the weekly chart, you can see each candle is a week of price action. I want to highlight how there is the general move to the downside. You can see that. And then as we approach this thick trend line here, which goes back all the way, you can see it there, a touch in this zone here, and a touch down here. So this is back to 2009. It's a really long trend line. I'll make it purple, in fact. What I want to highlight is the behavior along this trend line. Switching to the daily, you can see that price has dipped underneath it, okay? And I'm paying close attention to a breakout. So you can see that momentum is divergent to price. You can see that, okay? Upward momentum here, whereas price was all downward here. Let's draw this pizza, it's like this. There's the flag to the downside. I really think the opportunity is to the long side, and that would be on using this as support. Let's make this support. And what's key is how price behaves along this trend line, if it does a breakthrough above it or a breakthrough above this purple one. So I'm looking for that. So let's annotate this as two opportunities for a long, or excuse me, one opportunity for a long. Along here, if it breaks through either of these, okay? And the 200 days, kind of the target. So the 200 days up there. So it's about, from where the purple line is, it's about a 13% move, depending on where the 200 day comes to. And it's possible they'll bounce it around, but really, from an overall longer term perspective, I think this is a long play. So I'm paying attention to this one closely to go long. Okay, a lot of momentum to the bullish side. Another one, which I want to review, is Abercrombie and Fitch. It's a clothing company. This is a short side. So let's put a shark here. The shark signal came right here. And what I want to highlight is the gap fill completed. Okay, so for those of you who went long on this, you can see the gap fill took place, okay, over here. And that was due to bullish divergence here. So if you took an entry down here, then good for you, right? Took an entry anywhere down here, that would have been almost a 50% move if you got all the way up to here, to the top of this earnings right here. That's a 50% move. Good for you if you got it. But right now the momentum has swapped, has changed. So you can see it here. Okay. Due to that, I think the resistance zone where I would take a short myself is at the 200-day. So my annotation will be to pay attention for it to come up to the 200-day and take a short about there. Yeah, either the 200-day, or I'm going to make an annotation here across where this is right here. So I think this would be resistance as well. Okay, and let's make it red. Actually, I'll make it black. There. So that should be some overhead resistance. So it's either the 200-day or this this spot there. Okay. Okay, so those are some ideas for you. The one new long idea is General, let's go back to it, what it's called, General Mills. And then the next short idea is Abercrombie and Fitch. Okay, well, good luck with your trades. It's going to be a volatile week, mostly to the downside. So if you're in tech stocks, definitely take your profits. Or if you're wanting to go short, then look for the right entry. As always, good luck with your trades. Give me a thumbs up, share my channel with your friends and family, and we will be talking again soon. Thanks.